Hey everyone, it's hard to believe we're talking about May already. May is a weird month. I mean, parents are busier than they are during the Christmas season with extracurricular activities, recitals, and end of school events. Our kids, they can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel as they're in full countdown mode for the end of the school year. Everyone is ready for the end. That's why it's a good time of the year to focus on perseverance. We define perseverance as refusing to give up when life gets hard. And to build a connection for kids to discover more about what it means to persevere, we've themed this month Mud Run, Make It Through the Mayhem. From the Tough Mudder to the Spartan Race, these are intense tests of strength and perseverance as racers tackle obstacle after obstacle to be one of the few who can claim the medal of finisher. And life is the same way. We'll all face times in our life when it feels like we're climbing up the side of a mountain with 100 pounds of rocks strapped to our back. We need to give everything we have to get through those times. And thankfully, we don't have to do life alone. God is with us, and we can trust Him no matter what to give us the strength we need to persevere. This is the truth we find in our memory verse for this month, Isaiah 40:31. But those who trust in the Lord will receive new strength. They will fly as high as eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not grow weak. We'll memorize that as we discover more about perseverance through stories and principles found in the New Testament. The writers of the New Testament include some amazing moments where Jesus' followers faced incredible challenges. They also offer important principles that will encourage us in our own journey of faith. We start the month with the mission Jesus gave His disciples in the Great Commission and discover how the Holy Spirit empowered them to get the job started. Our preteens will ask the key question, what makes you want to give up? To help them process ways they can respond when they feel like giving up. Our bottom line is a great reminder for kids. Keep going because God is with you. Next, we see what happens when Paul and Silas persevere through a night in prison and how their joy helps the jailer and his family come to know Jesus. Our preteens will start small group with the key question, why is it worth it to keep going? We want them to start realizing that when they persevere, it can make a difference in someone else's life. And our bottom line is something all of us should keep in mind when we need to persevere. You can choose joy when life gets hard. For weeks 3 and 4, we head to a familiar passage included in Hebrews 12 that reminds us of the great cloud of witnesses who have already run the race of faith. In week 3, we'll get preteens thinking about the question, what gets in the way of finishing what you start? As they think through that, we will land on the bottom line for the week. God can help you let go of what's holding you back. We'll finish up in week 4 with a bottom line we want all kids to know. Keep going because of what Jesus did for you. Our preteens will ask the key question, what can help you focus on Jesus? As they work towards a plan for how they focus on Jesus when life gets hard. We think this will be a fun and impactful month for you and your families. And we have some really great ideas to help you make these truths from the Bible come to life in your environment. So let's start with large group. In each large group script for 252 Kids, we've created a fun story arc for our hosts as they are training for a mud run. The games and challenges each week point towards ways the host can improve their perseverance during the race. While these can stand alone, it might be a great idea to schedule your host for the entire month to encourage some continuity in the storyline. This does not have to be a person who would actually race in a mud run though. In fact, it might be funnier if they're not. Each script handles this mud run a bit differently. For K5 Starter, we're training for our own version of a mud run that will happen in week 4 where we actually do it live. This is something they can do inside or outside. It's scripted to happen at the end of large group so it doesn't disrupt the Bible story. For the kindergarten through 3rd script, the host comes in week 4 having already completed the run. The same is true for K5 Plus week 4. However, for this one, the script is written to show highlights from the run. The Getting Ready section of your week 4 script includes several ideas for how you can pull this off. Now, because this is a month about mud, you might be thinking, this sounds messy. Well, it is. But the mess factor should not be a reason not to do these games. We worked hard to create experiences where the mud is all pretty contained and shouldn't splatter. Oh, and for K5 Starter and K5 Plus, be sure to save the game props each week because you'll use them again as you recap or reuse everything in week 4. If you use the 252 preteen script from the Premier tier, your host will lead kids and leaders in weekly perseverance challenges that, yes, involve a bit of mud and a good dose of grit. And because they're preteens, they will love the messy factor in week 2. Just let your parents know to prepare ahead of time. Oh, and don't worry, we give you some ideas of how to make them less messy if you need that. No matter what script you use, we include engaging ways for your kids and preteens to experience the Bible passages this month with visuals, props, costumes, and audience participation. But if you don't have a live storyteller every week, be sure to check out the videos in the media package that can enhance your large group experience. You'll find the same great artwork and storytelling you've come to expect from 252 Story. And you won't want to miss the So-and-So Show for your preteens, complete with all the fun and mess you can imagine with a theme like Mud Run. These videos can bring the Bible story to life for your kids. All of that sets up small group. Here are a few highlights we don't want you to miss. In week 1, kindergarten and first will be making dumbbells during the memory verse activity. There's a small chance of chaos, but check out the small group leader guide for suggestions on how to make this work successfully in your environment. You may also want to make a few of these beforehand to show your small group leaders so they have a physical example for the kids. Preteens have a couple of options for their opening game in small group. Choose the one you think fits best with your kids and your environment, keeping in mind that kicking it up a notch really helps engage this age group. K5 Starter has a fun activity with hair dryers and toilet paper rolls. We've tested this one ourselves, but give it a go before your group meets just for some extra practice. In week 2, you'll find in kindergarten and first, there's an option to use chocolate pudding instead of paper shreds. Kids use a ladle to dig through and search for ping pong balls. Obviously, there's potential for mess, but there's also a guarantee of fun. So if you're brave, go for it. Your kids will love it. In week 4, our second and third graders are making crosses out of plastic lacing cord and pony beads. This is another activity where you might want to make a couple examples ahead of time for your non-crafty small group leaders. And those FX writers, our family experience, have cooked up some great ideas too. See, if you've never tried a family experience, May could be a great time to let parents know that you want to partner with them. The monthly FX script features a great opening where one of the co-hosts enters wearing some kind of prop table and is trying to show perseverance by eating all of his vegetables. Sounds crazy? Yeah, it's even crazier when you read it. The sketch segment shows how a small group of dedicated people can solve any problem, even if it means peeling potatoes with a drill and mashing them with a tennis racket. The word segment has one of our favorite storytelling characters, Reginald Fastidious III. He uses a team of volunteers to tell the story of Paul and Silas in prison. FX is fun, messy, and a great way to make sure the stories and concepts go from the church into homes and families. Well, that about does it for this month of 252 Kids and Preteen. If you have any questions, be sure to ask your Orange specialist. They're ready and waiting to help you take this month and honestly all of your months using 252 to the next level. And check out our Facebook 252 Partners community where you can ask questions and share ideas with literally thousands of other leaders just like you. Well, that's it. Have a great month.